We take immense pleasure to invite our Vice Chairman, Engineer 𝐕 Kumaran sir, our respected Registrar Dr. 𝐅.𝐸𝐮𝐧𝐝𝐞𝐫 sir, our respected Dr. 𝐅.𝐸𝐮𝐧𝐝𝐞𝐫 sir. I also happy to invite our Chief Guest, Mr. Arunai-Computer Science, who is a founder of Capsules Lab, and also Dr. 𝐂𝐚𝐳𝐝𝐞𝐫, who is a subject expert in the field of artificial intelligence as well as in other kind of activities. So now I request our principal to felicitate the gathering for this one-day workshop to be specifically for the edition of 2021 for the second year students with the name of Numpy Essential Updates. Now I request our principal to felicitate the gathering. Please, sir.
Good morning, one and all present here. It's my pleasure to be part of this Essentials for Data Science workshop organized for computer science students. And we have with us the great founder of Capsule Labs, Mr. Arunai-Computer. So we welcome you, sir, for this august occasion. So, my dear students, we have to adopt the change world. So, today the entire world is moving towards artificial intelligence and data science, and we have to particularly know the importance of the artificial and the data science, and we should know how to handle the abundant data in every field, understand the gigantic data form, and utilize them properly. So, for that, we need to know the newer tools like Python and other things and the library functions. So that's why we have brought in our subject expert. So know more from him and the other experts. So I wish you all a very good day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So now I request Professor Arunai-Computer Science, who is taking in today's session. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of Department of Computer Science and Engineering. We can take over the session, sir. Please.
Thank you, Professor Jyotish. Right, and today we are going to take a deep dive into Numpy and where and when it is used. The way we will go about it is, I strongly believe that all learning is great unless you do it hands-on. This is going to be a hands-on coding session. So let me introduce you to the platform. Many of you have worked on this platform before, right? At the very top, you'll find your user profile, right? Each of you should be able to have a partner, right? So it's two people. Make sure that the names are correct because those are the same names that will go on the certificates, right? And then the most important thing you look at is the challenges, right? Today we are going to do six challenges, right? We're going to do them one by one. So the event schedule is we will start the first session, the first challenge at 11:25. You'll have that's supposed to be solved in 15 minutes. The next one is there's a 5-minute break after that while we correct those. Right? Then there is another one which is 30 minutes. Then there's the next one which is 40 minutes. So the event schedule is available to you under the event schedule. Right? The way the scoring is going to get done.
Professor, sorry to disturb.
Yes.
Just 2 minutes. I have some kind of connectivity problem in one set of people. Let them join. Please be on the line.
Sure. I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it once again. No problem.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So for the benefit of those who are already there, let me also give you the scoring pattern, right? How are things scored? Well, the first problem that will come up, it's an exploratory problem, right? You are, we just want to make sure that your environment is set up for Numpy, right? Your, you have a Python compiler that is there, right? You are able to install Numpy, you are able to call Numpy, right? So that's why there is the difficulty level for the first one is 0.2. It is very low, right? Just to get you familiarized with what to do with the platform, where to sum.
Yes, sir. Sorry to disturb. Now, is it okay that now all the students are being in the track?
Yes. Okay. Let me go over that again. Welcome all to all the participants. I hope you have found a place. You have your laptop in front of you. You are, you are getting into pair programming, right? 2 people to a team. 1 person, please make sure that you are following the instructions that are coming up on the WhatsApp channel. If there are questions, please raise them. Other person, right, you discuss, do the coding part of it, right? In today's session, what we will have is, we will have 6 challenges, right? So that's the schedule for today, right? The schedule is downloadable under your user section, and there are challenges that they kind of grow in complexity. The first one is for 15 minutes, the next one is 30 minutes, the next one is 40 minutes. They kind of grow in complexity. That is why the scoring pattern also becomes more and more difficult, right? So the difficulty multiplier increases. You see something called a time score. So the first person who submits gets a time score of 50, right? The second person who submits gets a time score of 49. The third person who submits gets a time score of 48, and so on. But it has to be the correct answer, right? So there is a score of 50 for the submission quality, right? What you will find at this point is that the first challenge is, Ramaki Paspi Parali? Okay, so the first challenge is going to come up in 5 minutes time, right? How we are going to do is, any resources that you have, find a solution. You can discuss with your teammates, right, and come up with a solution. The first question that comes up with NumPy is, why NumPy? You already have Python. I think most of you have had some exposure to Python, right? You know that it is a high-level language. When we program with Python, any kind of lists there, there is a lot of boundary conditions that is already taken care of by the Python interpreter, right? In C, if you are writing a program in C, you are responsible for ensuring that it is correct, right? In Python, a lot of it is done for you. If it is already done, then why do we need a separate tool like NumPy? NumPy is specialized for a particular purpose. NumPy is specialized when we want to process a lot of numerical data, right? Many of you are already aware of data structures or fundamental data structures in Python, things like dictionary, things like lists, things like tuples, right? And you can do a lot of functions on them. You can search through a list, you can insert elements into a list, you can pop items from a list, you can append items into a list, right? So there are a lot of options that are already there, right? But the challenge is that when you build a list, the underlying data structure, right, that is used by Python is again a linked list, right? And a linked list means that there is a data item that is stored, and there is a pointer to the next data item. Then there is a pointer to the next data item. So if you are doing operations like trying to read all the elements of a list, you are making a lot of operations. You are just doing a lot of calculations to find out where that position is, right? Which is why data structures like lists are very efficient. They are really useful when it comes to maybe a few hundred data items. But when you have larger data items, and data science really gets us talking about very, very large data sets, right? When we have large data sets, that is where NumPy starts to come on its own, right? Because the underlying data structure in NumPy is an array, right? What is an array? An array is a sequential memory allocation which has been blocked up, and each block has a particular data type, right? So arrays, the advantage with arrays is if you know the index number and the starting address of an array, know exactly where in your you are stored, right? So that is very, very important. Accessing memory is really, really fast with Numpy. So any kind of numeric numerical calculations that you get into, right? Whether it is with floating point numbers, whether it is with integers, or even with characters stored as ASCII values, right? Numpy is way more faster than using regular arrays, right? Than using regular lists, right? So let's look at the first problem itself. The first problem, it's there, it should be there on your screen now, right? The first problem should be there on your screen now, right? This problem, I'm not going to ask you to write any code on your own, right? There is a reference code that I have already provided as part of your challenge, right? What I'm expecting you to do is you find that you have 15 minutes to solve this, right? Here, you don't really have to write new code by yourself. You can just copy the code that is there on the left-hand side, right? Now, what this code shows you are two things. If we are talking about an array, right, what are the different ways in which an array can be initialized in Numpy? And you will find that there are many ways. You can create an array and say that make it empty, fill it all, don't do anything else to the array. Or you can say make that array, allocate the memory, and then put zeros in all of it. Or fill it with the geometric sequence or with random integers, right? So there are many ways you can pre-assign an array, and each of them takes different amounts of time, right? So the main function, the main driver code that you will find, what does this driver code do? Well, we are going to use a function called, we are going to use a library, a small timing library called timeit, T-I-M-E-I-T, right? What does this do? This helps us to measure the execution time of code, right? So the way it is written is, I have written a driver function, which is if underscore name equals underscore name. So this is my entry point to my program. And once I get into the program, what I have done is I have created a list of fill types. What are the different fill types that are possible?
Professor, right? Can you zoom and show it? Because the display we can't able to see it.
I think each one of them are logging in. They should be able to see it on their screens as well.
The visibility is so tiny. Actually, we can't.
No, not on Google. Not on Google. Are they able to see it on? They should be able to see it in their platform. If they are logged into their platform, so they should be able to see it in their screens as well.
Okay. So students want to log in their platform. What is the credential which is given to them?
Log into the platform. You can write the code in VS Code. You can write the code in PyCharm. Jupyter, you may not be able to work because you need a specific library. You may be able to work in Jupyter. Okay. Whatever platform you are using to write your code, right? So this first challenge is just to make sure that your environment is set up. After you finish your writing your code, you upload a screenshot of your code over here, right? A screenshot of your output. And the code that you have written, the final working code that is written, you submit your code over here and submit the answer, right? You can submit as many times until the time is over, right? Every time you submit, the previous answer will get refreshed, right? Once you submit, you will be able to see your submissions under the submissions tab, and you will be able to see your score under the results tab, right?
Thanks, sir. So
coming back,
on behalf of the Capsules Lab, I instruct our students to enroll into the platform which is given by them, the credential, and try to utilize it in proper manner and have a good interaction with the resource person. So students, those who are not enrolled over in the platform, kindly enroll now, because everyone want to do the activity to be progressive. Please. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. So the first one is just copy paste the code, right? you cannot, it's an image, so you have to type it in. But in the process, you will get to know what are the various ways to initialize a array, right? The next challenge onwards, you have to write code yourself. If you are facing any problems, please ping in the group, right? There are technical people, there are resource persons, Professor Datta Chaudhary is there, right? We will all help you through it. We must get as many people to solve the problems as possible. And at around 4:10, you will find that there is another, the same link basically, but at 4:10, you can get to the closing link, right? And we will discuss potential approaches to the problems, right? So we learn by doing, and we do by learning, right? So it's a cycle, and that's what we are going to do today, right? Right? So best of luck. This program will help you understand how to time a piece of code and what are the ways to execute and what are the various ways to initialize an array, right? Any questions from the students? You are programming in pairs. One person is looking out for instructions coming on the WhatsApp channel. Another person is actually typing in the code. You discuss your approach, how you want to solve a particular problem, and we'll get into fun problems. We will get into problems with what is the timing complexity. We'll get into problems of trying to create fun animations and patterns on using Numpy. We'll try to get into
students are having issues on code from the challenge.
Topic segments, they have to time.
Oh, they want to take.
Yes, they have to time.
No, you code out, it's a copy and paste. Okay, fine.
It's like writing down things.
I agree with the point. I agree with the point.
We attempt at least 50 to 60% the class, right? If you need, let us know. Let us know in group that you need 5 minutes more, right? You need a couple of minutes more. Don't let me know 1 minute before, right? That you're not done. If you try to submit at 00 at 5 seconds left, right? It may go through, it may not go through, you never know, right? Everybody's trying to submit at that point. So always a good idea to submit one beforehand and then update it later on, right? The final output, if you run this product, if you run this piece of code, will be this execution, where you will see that for different types of different field types, what is the time that you are taking, right? If you want to experiment with the code, then instead of trying to fill in five items or 6 items, try filling in 6 million items, no problem. And you will see the difference in execution times. Particularly look out for the last one, because the last one, which is of type list, right? It actually creates a list first and then creates an array from the list, right? So because it is creating a list, it is going to take significantly more time, right? And you can see that the number are going to be in front of you. Anybody facing issues? So with that, we can all, we can log off the video call, right? The assignments will keep on coming one by one. If you need time, use the WhatsApp channel, right? The support team is there. Professor Shovik is there, right? Ask your questions. No questions are bad questions, right? So put forward your questions and we will all learn by doing. Thank you, everybody. If the challenges have not opened, just refresh your screen, no problem. And one more thing, just make sure your system timer is not set at a weird date. Your clock is not showing yesterday.
Sir, a small request actually.
Yes.
One set of students are working with the systems. They want to know the credential, like which link they want to enter into the platform.
They have to go to shortcut. They have to go to.
Can you type it in a notepad and zoom it and show it? Sir? Yes.
Shorts.capsulelabs.in, the same link where they used to when they went in for registration.
Yeah, kindly zoom and show it, sir, because the students are not having their mobile, but they have the credential with the username and password. So kindly zoom and show it, sir.
Oh, it is zooming to. I will send the link on the WhatsApp group. No problem.
No, not like that. One set of students are not having mobile with them. So they are seeing the Google Meet only, they are doing all the work. So let them type it in Notepad and zoom it.
They're seeing only.
Yeah. One set of people is completely available with the setup of laptop. Another set of people available with the system, but not with the mobile.
None of their partners have the mobile?
Yeah, that they are from outsiders, so they don't have the mobile.
Okay. Please go to this link. Actually, look at the mobile link. Okay. Registration code. Right, you can see it now?
Yeah, fine, sir. Fine, sir.
Just go to that, log in with your credentials. You should be able to see the challenges. We've added 5 more minutes because we are discussing this and all of that. Right? We are discussing it through. Everybody is registered, right? There are no more pending registrations.
Yes, sir, I think so. Anyway, I will conference with the students in the break time.
60 people are there. No problem. Registration is now? Okay.
Sir, I will make 2 faculties to be available for this workshop to be accommodated with you. One is Mr. Mhrd and Mr. 𝐊𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐻, and I given a call for you actually if there is any issues available, and also they will also be able to communicate through my channel actually in case of presence.
Okay. They are on the WhatsApp channel.
Yeah, they are not on the WhatsApp channel, but I just opened my Google Meet presence over here in my cabin actually, so they will be talking in behalf of me if I am not available here.
Okay. Because we don't need to be on the channel anymore, right? Because they can now continue on their.
Yeah, I will add them because I also to be the group admin in the WhatsApp group, so I will add the 2 numbers so that they can also get communication.
Yes, they can communicate. If there has to be a local language translation or anything, they can go ahead.
Yes.
And they can coordinate and collate any kind of problems that the teams are facing and put it up on the group.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. All right. Best of luck, everybody. Have a great event. We'll probably connect back towards the later part of the day.